I'm going to take a shot on this one.
I'm going to say beer.
I'm buying everybody around on this. Oh my God.
So anyway, the Carolina Hurricanes have silenced their doubters. Anthony.
I mean, I questioned the moves they made in goal because I thought Nedeljkovic, obviously he was coming off a Calder finalist season, and then getting Freddie Anderson, who I thought was kind of just in Toronto. I didn't really buy into the whole. People talk about how he's this legitimate starting goaltender. I really wasn't there. And then Antti Raanta, who was kind of so I thought they took a downgrade there, and I thought they took a downgrade in their defense a little bit, but So yeah, I guess I got to go round. I mean, their start has been incredible. Freddie Anderson has been good. D'Angelo has produced for them. And then obviously Aho and Teravainen and Svechnikov, all those guys have been good. We all know what their offense can do. So yeah, I guess you got to give it the due. My thing is just to see how they hold up throughout the course of this season. I still am not like totally sold on Freddie Anderson, but maybe he proves me wrong. But there's no either way. There's no doubt there. I think they're either going to be one or two in this division. So that's really a fact. But they have been a lot better than I thought they would have been. So I'm going to give them their due. And I'm going to stay around.
All right, Phil.
I'm going to say shot. Because it's early, it's a great start, and we all expected them to make the playoffs. We all had them as a top 3 team in the division. If this continues, talk to me when it's the playoffs though, and they are knocked out in the first or second round yet again because of the fact that their goaltending still can't get it done, and their defense come playoff time just isn't good enough to play against better teams. They'll score and they'll win games against bad teams in the regular season, and even some better teams. But again, it's regular season hockey. This club was criticized for making the moves they made, and then especially with their moves in net because they needed a goaltender to get them over the hump. And I'm still not convinced that come playoff time, it'll happen. So I'm shot.
I gotta agree with you. Shot. And I posed this question, and I really wanted to go with beer or even around. But here's the truth: Freddie Anderson's due for his yearly injury. he's due for getting worn down because he's playing a lot. I forgot who their backup goalie is.
Antti Raanta. Thank you.
All right. Antti Raanta's a picture of health as well. So, I mean, once you start losing goaltenders, then everything else falls. So we'll see about that. But look, Rod Brind'Amour's doing a great job. But again, they're about an injury or two away to just being an also-ran. So we'll see about that. Going to a coach that's doing a really good job right now, and I think he's done a good job since last year. Don Granato will be a Jack Adams finalist when this season is over. Phil?
I'm going to say shot.
Okay.
And I can't I think that he should get a lot of recognition if they finish with, I would say, more than 60 to 65 points, because that roster is really not that good. And if you look at the standings right now, Buffalo is third in their division, and yes, they're 5-3-1 in 9 games, and it's still an early start. And I don't think this is going to last. I really don't. And it's a nice little story for Buffalo for them to be winning without Jack Eichel and all the stuff that happened with that clown show of a circus, throughout the offseason with Adams and Eichel and all that other crap. But I just don't see it sustaining. I don't. And eventually other teams are going to start to come in. They're going to play more Western teams. They're going to play better teams that are probably going to put a little bit of a beating on them. But I've got to give Don Granato a lot of credit because that team comes to fight every damn game. And good for him for doing that. But I don't think he's going to be a finalist. I do think he'll get votes, but not a finalist. So shot.
Anthony.
Shot. They're having success. They're having success now. And if that continued throughout the whole year, then yeah, he would get votes and maybe even be a finalist. But I don't think this is going to last for that much longer. I mean, who knows? Maybe they're like this, this surprise run and they're a formidable team, but I just can't see it lasting that long. And because of that, despite a good start, the guy's not going to be a Jack Adams finalist. It was coaching a bad team. So, again, talk to me in February or March, and they're still playing at this level, then my answer changes drastically. But right now, no shot. But I will give him credit. He has the Sabres ready to play every game, and they're playing hard. And good for Sabre fans because I know they were the butt of the joke pretty much the whole off season, and it's nice to see them have some success early on. I just don't think it's going to last long enough.
Yeah, and by the way, Mike, you're right about that. Shameless self-promotion is something that I gotta really get better at. I want to hear. I mean, it's hard for me to do that, but I mean, I put all the graphics in there later. I'm gonna go beer, guys, and the reason why I'm gonna grow with that is because I'm gonna think shades of Roger Nielsen in 1994 when he had an expansion team with the Florida Panthers. If he can get to an 80-point team. I know Phil said it at 65. 65 is still not that good, but if you can get to 80 points, that's a different story. And I think I think he would get more recognition on that. That roster, it's not made for long-term success or wins, and he's right now getting it. So, and by the way, Anthony, you want to talk about them being the butt of the joke? One of my favorite ones was that the New York Mets were going to win a game before the Buffalo Sabres. That's what I threw out there last year. And they won the day before opening day in baseball.
Yep.
So, and then the Mets got COVID and they didn't play the first one anyway. All right. From the Buffalo Sabres to a team with loftier goals than them, Andrew Brunette can lead Florida to their lofty goals this season. I originally had the word Stanley Cup in there, but let's face it, as much as we all think Florida is going to be very good, Stanley Cup is still a lot to expect from this year. Okay. Anthony, go ahead. Can Brunette do this year and consider the job that he's got? He's got a team that's really good, but also dealing with some controversy.
Mark, I think you can lead them to their lofty goals this year if you were behind the bench. They got a really talented roster. Quenneville was a really good coach, but I don't think with Andrew Brunette behind the bench that they're all of a sudden going to take a nosedive. I think they're going to challenge Tampa Bay for the division. I ultimately think they win it, but they're going to be a really good team. They're for real. The drop off from Quenneville to Brunette's significant, but again, I don't think it's going to matter too much. They have too much talent on this roster. Barkov, Huberdeau, Verhaeghe, Sam Bennett's been a new player. Sam Reinhart.
Sam Reinhart, yeah.
Yeah, Bobrovsky's back on the top of his game. Spencer Knights is real formidable in goal. Lundell has been great for them before he got hurt. The list goes on and on. I think this is easy. It's a round. I think ultimately, maybe do they look for a more permanent replacement? Sure, but I think as time goes on, if they keep winning, they may give Andrew Brunette a real look to take the interim tag off of him if they keep having success.
For those of you that weren't listening, Anthony believes so much in that answer, he shook his camera 3 times. So as he hit his hand on his desk. Phil.
Andrew Brunette had worn a letter, I believe, on 2 or 3 different teams that he played on. That's a man who was a leader in his day as a player. And I think with everything that's going on with Quenneville and the fact that they're still playing very well despite all of it, goes to show you that he has a grasp on how to keep his players focused on the tasks at hand. And to me, yeah, I mean, you're pretty much you knew my answer from what I was saying. But yes, I am buying around on this because that roster is beyond talented. Anthony pointed out all the things, and one other thing I'm going to say in regards to Florida's roster is that if they go out and get one proven top 4 defender by the deadline, that looks like a legitimate Stanley Cup threat. That looks like a favorite to win it all if they get a top 4 defender. So, yes, I'm buying around.
And there's lots of, you know what? You guys are actually convincing me to say around, but I'm still going to stick with beer just for the sake of saying beer, because you're going from, regardless of what's going on, one of the guys with one of the greatest coaching records of all time.
Such a contrarian.
To a rookie coach on his first team. Now, if this happened later in the year, let's say this happened in January or so, I'm on board. Lots of guys have gotten their first coaching opportunity and won a Stanley Cup or replaced one.
I'm going to give you a name, not a rookie coach at that time, but I'm going to give you a name.
Why did you cut to me?
I don't know why you did that. That was
that was an accident.
Okay.
Well, Anthony, there you go. But I'm going to give you a name for a guy that came in midseason and ended up winning it all. Larry Robinson.
Actually, it wasn't even mid-season. It was later.
It was later in the season. He came in, and that was after Robbie Fatorik threw the bench onto the ice and then got fired. Yeah. And what does he do? Comes in and wins the damn Stanley Cup and then takes the Devils to the Game 7 of the finals the next year against the Avalanche. And Patrick Waugh just was Patrick Waugh, and they won. And Avalanche won. But I'm looking at Larry Robinson.
By the way, who was on that Colorado team that year?
Ray Bourque.
Who else more specifically right now?
Rob Blake.
Chris Drury. I was trying to get that.
Drury, yeah. Chris Drury was, yes.
Yes. But yeah, there's lots of cases where that's happened. So it can happen. I'm not as confident on that, but still, like I said, the last guy I think that came in late, and he was even later, was Dan Bylsma. But if Brunette, you know what? You guys are right. Brunette's, he's been through teams like Minnesota, Ward A with them. Believe he had it when he was with Colorado as well, and he's the guy's a leader, so hopefully they can do this for him. Andrew Brunette's he was a good player.
He was,
yeah, he was like
guy 1 year.
So the one reason why I told Phil he had to save his energy when we was talking about that Coyotes before was because the Coyotes will get 50 points. To put this in perspective, we're 10 games in, they got 1. I'll start with Anthony.
I mean, what was it, the 2016-2017 series season? Colorado had, 48 points?
Yeah. Oh, God. They were awful.
So they were really, really bad.
And that's with Nate McKinnon.
I think Arizona is going to be that bad. I really do. Shane Gostisbehere, all right? Shane Gostisbehere leads the team in points. So, that's bad. He's got 5 points. He's got 5 points, and that leads the team. I mean, I'm seeing the same thing you are, Philip, but I'm just powering through.
Whoa, yeah. I'm sorry, Anth. I don't mean to, but
they're bad. They're bad. Their goaltending's bad. Carter Hutton's bad. Although that guy Karel Vijamelka, or however you pronounce his last name, he's got like a .922 save percentage, but yet he's 0-6, so he's been good. But this team's bad. Kessel's going to be gone. Louis Eriksson, Andrew Ladd. I mean, get out of here. Give me a break. So I'm gonna go shot on this.
For a second, I thought I had to be by around, but no, it's shot. It's definitely shot. They're not getting to 50. Phil, I'm going to let you take a lot of this away, so I'm going to be as quick as possible. They ain't getting 50. I'm going to leave that shot guy up there. It's just, I feel bad for everyone in that situation, but you know what? Hopefully the NHL doesn't screw him and they give him Shane Wright, and then they can rebuild this franchise, because I know if Arizona is probably going to be my future destination soon, I would like to at least still have a hockey team out there and not in Houston. Okay, I give it over to you, Phil.
So, yeah, like Anthony was saying, Shane Gostisbehere leads the team with 5 points in 10 games. Their next 3 scorers are Phil Kessel with a goal and 3 assists, Lawson Krause with 2 goals and 2 assists, and Clayton Keller, who was once Rookie of the Year material, 3 goals and an assist. Those are your top 4 scorers. And then your next 2 tied for 5th, Johan Larsson with 3 assists and Christian Fischer with 2 goals and an assist. This team is bad. This team is historical levels of bad. Like we're going to approach like the inaugural Washington Capitals and then 1993 Ottawa Senators levels of bad with this team. And Vejmelka, like Anthony said, has been solid in net for them, despite how bad the roster in front of him actually is. But holy shit, this team is just awful.
Anthony, was he the guy that played the Islanders?
Yeah, he was in goal against the Islanders. Yeah,
he was good, but he also let in a couple goals. Like there were saves that they needed to get, and he let those in. But I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying that is what happened.
Yeah, I don't see any way that this team can get more than 50 points or more. I don't see it at all. I don't see where the offense comes from. I know Jacob Chychrun had a big year, but if you look at Jacob Chychrun's numbers from last year, he led the league in goals by defenseman with 18. And I believe the shooting percentage, I'm trying to pull this up now, just with all the stuff that I have open right now, it's just loading.
Anthony, as he pulls that up, what's Phil's favorite stat?
What?
Shooting percentage.
Shooting percentage.
Yeah. He shot at a 10.2 shooting percentage. Do you know how hard that is to get a double-digit shooting percentage as a defenseman? As a defenseman, and then to keep it up over a period of 56 games last year and then into this year? There's no way that that's going to sustain. It's not. It's just completely unsustainable, and you're not going to get that same type of offensive production, even points-wise, out of Jacob Chychrun. If you look at his numbers right now, he's got 0 points in 10 games as a minus 16, and plus minus is not really a stat that I would use to
not for this season, not with him.
No, but minus 16, and it just goes to show you how bad this is for this franchise in general, and the fans. I feel bad for the fans. They were, I mean, it was a fluke run for them to be in that bubble in the playoff, the play-in, and they got smacked in it. But everything has just gone so far downhill since then. And John Chayka screwed them so bad with losing the picks, and getting a whole bunch of first-round picks this year really, really helps. And like you said, Shane Wright would go a long, long way for Arizona. They need him desperately.
If you like that video, we got a lot more. So check out any of these that are right over here. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.